So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, so a very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Arshdeep Singh, and the topic for my case study presentation is Hafnium cyber attack. So let's get started with the presentation by first knowing about who is Hafnium, who are the people behind this group, and what are their intentions. So in January 2021, there were a lot of news articles about this famous data breach that took place in the Microsoft Exchange server, and it was believed that the group behind this, or the cyber espionage group behind this attack, was Hafnium. So a cyber espionage group is basically a threat group which carries out attacks in order to gain user information and private data. And it was believed that this Hafnium group was Chinese state sponsored. That is, it was funded by the Chinese government. And although they were based in China, but they carried out all their operations from the United States virtual private servers. They targeted the industry sectors or the educational institutions and all other NGOs which didn't have the capabilities or resources to defend against the cyber attacks. So Hafnium, it's a cyber espionage group. Uh, it is believed to be Chinese state sponsored, but they use US based virtual private networks. They target those entities which do not have the advanced resources to defend against the attacks. So coming to the Microsoft Exchange Server data breach that took place this year. And before moving to the actual attack, let's understand something about zero-day exploits. So whenever a software or a product is developed, there's a window of vulnerability that is created wherein several security researchers, they try to find security flaws in the software, and then these security flaws or vulnerabilities are reported to the vendor or the organization, and the software developers there try to work on creating a security patch, and then a secure version of that software or product is released. But in case of a zero-day vulnerability, what happens is sometimes these vulnerabilities are publicly disclosed over the internet, and the hackers around the world, they try to exploit these vulnerabilities or the flaws. And before and this and these exploitation happens before the developers, they even have a chance to address that security issue. So the term zero day means that the developers now have 0 days to fix it or mitigate the attack, because by the time they would release a fix, a lot of sensitive information would have already been compromised. So in case of Microsoft data breach that took place, this Hafnium group was able to detect the weakness in the system. And since this vulnerability was publicly disclosed, a lot global attacks were carried out, and the hackers, they could access email accounts, they could hijack the servers, and most importantly, they could install or induce malwares to the system, so that even after a security patch was developed, they could still get access to the servers. So the timeline of the attack was as follows. In January, two very famous security firms, they reported Microsoft that there existed several vulnerabilities in their Exchange servers. And then in the first week of the month of February, Microsoft confirmed that yes, they had these vulnerabilities, and that they would release the patch in the month of March. But by the time they could work on creating or release the patch, this Hafnium group, they exploited the server, and attacks were carried out on a global scale. People around the world, they became victim of this attack. The attackers were sending phishing emails to the contacts. Even the European Banking Authority, they also reported that their systems were attacked, although no data was compromised. And so now let's compare this Hafnium attack with the very famous SolarWinds attack. Both of them have a lot in common. They both started with email servers. They installed malwares and executed or carried out remote code execution. But the major difference between both of them was the intensity of the attack. As you can see in the slide, the Hafnium attack, it impacted more than 30,000 organizations around the world. So a very large scale global attack was carried out in case of this Microsoft data breach by this Hafnium group. So how this attack was carried out? In the first phase, the attackers, they exploited the zero-day vulnerabilities. Secondly, they installed web shell codes, or in simple terms, malwares to the system to get the remote access. And once they got the remote access to the servers, they could easily exfiltrate a lot of user information and sensitive data. What were the vulnerabilities that were present in the Exchange server? First attack that they carried out or exploited the vulnerability was using the SSRF, or server-side request forgery. So in SSRF, what happens is basically the attackers, they try to induce server-side applications and create HTTP requests to gain unauthenticated access. The second one was the insecure deserialization. So deserialization basically means disrupting the natural code flow. So this vulnerability existed in the messaging service of Microsoft Exchange servers, and by exploiting this vulnerability, they could install malwares and web shell codes and gain remote access to the servers. The third one was the exploiting the post authentication arbitrary file. So by this or exploiting this vulnerability, they could write custom paths to their servers, so that after they get the remote access, they need to exfiltrate the data into their own servers, and for that they need to write the custom paths to this post authentication arbitrary file. So this Microsoft data breach was indeed a disaster for Microsoft, and this was not the first time that these vulnerabilities were exploited, and definitely it won't be the last one as well. Although Microsoft, they publicly admitted that they could not defend against these attacks, but as they say that everyone fails, but one should learn from their failures. So perhaps Microsoft should now focus on creating more secure products, more secure softwares, and work more on the safety and protection of their servers. Coming to the last point, the steps to protect yourself from this attack. First one is taking a system offline immediately before an emergency patch is developed. Taking a system offline means your server is not over the internet or over a network, so attackers won't be able to remotely access it. Second one is using threat data or the emergency response tools to detect whether you are targeted. In case of Microsoft, they released several scripts to determine the incidents and responses into the system and the server. Third one is creating policies and procedures to detect the exploit. Strict policies and permissions must be created, and not only they must be created, they also must be reviewed very frequently, especially the permissions that are given over the server, because any high level attack that takes place, it always starts from gaining the unauthenticated administrative access to the servers. So the permissions and these patches, the policies, they must be reviewed very frequently. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Definitely. Arshdeep, this is a nice presentation. So guys, this is, I can say, supply chain attack. So, and why this is targeted, definitely. There is a reason only Microsoft used by the so many, I can say, vendors. So if they can exploit some, I can say, vulnerability, it basically spread across the globe easily, right? But yeah, Microsoft released the patch for that also, guys. So always, I recommend, if something is, not working well, definitely you need to update your patches and everything, and use general OS. So if you are not using original, then definitely you are not going to get patch, and you are basically vulnerable from those kind of attacks. So it's a nice presentation, Arshdeep. Very good attempt, and it's, I can say, very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank